Support WrestleTalk!
Order a t-shirt.
Right now, I know what a lot of you are going to say in the comments, likely before you've even watched the video. Oh, Luke, you're such a pessimist. He's only been back a few weeks. Give them a chance. And in some ways, you are right. It is far too early in the day to say that WWE have completely botched Bobby Lashley's return to the company, but you can't sit there and say it's been good. Lashley left WWE in 2008, but he was hardly a guy that the audience were really into. He was seen as a green mid-carder given a push well beyond his skill level, and his feud with Vince McMahon over the ECW Championship didn't give him the main event rub it was supposed to. Even when he debuted in TNA the first time, it was met with a collective shrug of but that was many moons ago. Since then, he's gone on to compete in MMA with a 15-2 win-loss record and had a fantastic second run in Impact Wrestling with his walking Armageddon gimmick. In Impact, he felt like the Brock Lesnar replacement WWE clearly saw him as in 2006. And with the reports that Brock Lesnar was leaving for UFC after WrestleMania 34, Dana White confirming as much, it seemed like good timing that Bobby was heading back to WWE to fill that role. He has the size, he has the background, and he has the advantage of being there each and every week so fans don't hate him for only appearing when he feels like it. As Ollie Davis often says, it was an open goal, but something changed. Shortly before WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar signed a new deal with WWE and he retained the Universal Championship over Roman Reigns, a win that has not only damaged Reigns seemingly beyond repair, but has also meant Bobby didn't have a role to fill. He can't come in and be the big powerhouse MMA guy who kicks names and takes ass because that's Lesnar's position. So what did WWE do instead? Well, he suplexed Elias one week, then he teamed with Braun Strowman for several weeks, including on pay-per-view, and then did a sit-down interview with Renee Young talking about how much he loves his sisters. What the actual was that? And you know what all that has meant? When he came out for Raw this week, he was met with total indifference from the crowd. No one cared. Everyone took a look at him trying to qualify for Money in the Bank and said, and then he was booed throughout the match anytime he had offense. During the dark match where he teamed with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, the crowd booed 66.6% of the babyface team. And next week, Sami Zayn is gonna bring out his sisters to reveal who the real Bobby Lashley is. And seriously, what the actual is going on? How can you get this so incredibly wrong? How do you look at a guy with a legitimate 15-2 win-loss record in mixed martial arts, whose nickname in Impact Wrestling was Walking Armageddon, and say,
Do you know what this guy needs? Sisters, yeah! He needs to tell us how much he loves his sisters. That'll get him over. Gives him character.
This was such an open goal, and WWE spooned it out the park. It was a swing and miss. It was whatever the American football version of an open goal is. What I'm trying to say is this was the easiest thing to get right, and they got it so wrong. Is this really the best way to bring back and present someone like Bobby Lashley? Especially when Raw is currently lacking legitimate main event talent. Maybe if Lesnar hadn't re-signed, things would be different, but Lesnar did re-sign, and WWE should have thought of a better plan B than giving him sisters he loves. Bruce Pritchard said on the Goldberg episode of Something to Wrestle that when they brought Bill across, they didn't want to do what WCW had done with the character, as they wanted to present something different. Of course, that something different was putting him in a gold wig and having him lose to Triple H. Guess which one worked better? I get that WWE don't want to just copy Impact Wrestling's presentation of Lashley, but some things just work. Walking Armageddon work. Bobby's sisters doesn't. As I said at the top of this video, I don't want to come across as unnecessarily negative, as there is still a lot of time to fix this. Bear in mind that when WWE brought back Brock Lesnar in 2012, the first thing they had him do was lose to John Cena. While time will tell, this isn't quite that stupid yet. We've got other WrestleTalk Opinion videos, so click the playlist to the left. Support this channel by subscribing and pledge on Patreon for exclusive podcast content. I have been Luke Owen, and that was just my opinion.